Okay, everybody, we have Darren O'Day, final Zoom call of the day. Darren, thanks for joining us. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
We can get right to it, everybody. Raise hand function at the bottom. We'll get to as many as we can in the next 10 minutes or so. We're going to switch it up, Sweeney. We're going to go with Pete Caldera. Pete, go ahead.
Hey, Darren, just after pitching against the Yankees for so long, just what was it like walking in day one on this team?
Yeah, it was a little bit strange. I'll be honest, I saw some of the familiar faces from, across the diamond and some of the club employees that I've been seeing for all these years. And we just laughed. And so I guess we're teammates now. I'm really excited about it. First day today, putting the pinstripes on. It felt good. It was really, really exciting to fulfill, I think every little boy's dream to play for the Yankees.
And I guess, Darren, that was Pete Caldera from the Bergen Record. I'll introduce everybody just because you may not be familiar with him. Go with Sweeney Murdy with WFAN Radio. Sweeney, go ahead.
Darren, hi. How are you? And welcome.
Hi.
It's day one for you, but as the roster is constructed, you're the oldest player here and the one with the most service time. So how do you go about exerting your leadership on a group when it's day one and you really are trying to get to know everybody as they look to you for that role? How hard or easy is that for you to navigate?
I'll be honest, Sweeney, I was a little nervous coming into camp today too. Just, a new team, getting to know everybody. It takes a little bit. So I'm just going out of my way to meet the young guys, talk to them. I meet the older guys too. I guess everybody's young to me on this team, but just to get to know them and see how they tick. I think, you can't really make any great strides with people until they trust you. So just getting to know them a little bit and know that, I'm here to help them. And I've made a lot of mistakes and I've been taught by others and helped by others that help me avoid some other mistakes. So maybe I can pass that knowledge down to one more generation, one more group of young guys, and I can enjoy watching them pitch for the next 15, 20 years.
How do you feel about surviving as long as you have in this game when your role has largely gone to guys with high velocity? I mean, there's a building you guys are throwing in that's called the gas station now, for crying out loud. I mean, how do you feel that you've been able to navigate that and survive?
Yeah, they had to make an exception to let me in that place. I think I have to go throw, the bus stop or something. Yeah, it's different. You know what? But I think there's always a place in this game for different people. We can quantify just about everything these days, spin rates, break, all that stuff, but you can't, it's tough to quantify deception. And I think that's something that often gets overlooked. These hitters are so good. I wish we could tell you guys how good how good they are, but I wish you knew what it was like to face them. They get used to seeing the same stuff over and over. So, 95, when I first came in the league, 95 there was maybe one or two guys on the team and he was probably the closer. Now it's everybody throws 95 and these guys, actually 95 to them now looks like 90. So the hitters get conditioned. They kind of get that software programmed in their brain to hit this high spin 95, 96 at the top of the zone. So when you got somebody coming in just a couple ticks lower than that, maybe about 10, it just throws them off a little bit. So that's the reason for my longevity is the deception and just kind of knowing my way to how to pitch through a lineup and all that good stuff.
Take another from Ken Davidoff with the New York Post.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Darren, welcome back to New York after a very long time away. I was around you a little bit during your few weeks at, I think it was a Shea Stadium or City Field at that point.
First year City. Good memory.
Just wondering how you adjusted last year and the rule continues this year with the three batter rule. I mean, you're a guy who has some notable splits. Just how you felt that went for you.
So it's kind of there's two sides to this answer. Fundamentally, I don't believe you should tell managers how to manage their team. I just think that as a concept, if they wanted to play, if they would carry a guy for one major, very important at bat in the 7th inning, that's their prerogative. Selfishly, I love the rule because it takes a long time to get ready every day. We play all these games. We spend all day. The game starts at 7, but our preparation starts after the previous night's game ends. So it takes a lot to get ready to play that day, and to get in there and just face one guy for me wasn't quite as enjoyable as being able to face, a string of 3 or 4 hitters and really being able to feel like you're contributing to the win of the team. So selfishly, I'm happy for the rule.
And did you figure anything out against lefties? Figure anything out is too strong a word, but you performed well against lefties last year in the small sample. Did you make any adjustments there?
So, I never thought I would have as much success against lefties in the big leagues. This is me going back 15 years. I always thought I'd be a matchup guy, right? And along the way, I learned a 4-seamer that allows me to pitch up in the zone to lefties and kind of presents a look they've never seen before. So I've been able to manage myself against lefties most of my career. You might not put me in against 3 consecutive lefties, although I've done that before too. So I don't mind facing lefties. I have ways to get them out, and I've always enjoyed facing them.
Thanks, Darren.
Mm-hmm. Take another from Jack Curry from the Yes Network. Jack, go ahead and unmute.
Hey, Darren, following up on something that you said earlier about your deception, I'm not sure if you're aware of David Cohn used to throw a Laredo, a slider, and when he dropped down, Todd Zeile once said to him he was so baffled by the pitch that he thought it went between his legs before it went into the strike zone. So with your deception and the different look that you give, I'm wondering what's the most interesting, humorous, puzzling thing a hitter has ever said to you about trying to face you?
Boy, first day in New York, 2012 playoffs. Alex Rodriguez told the New York media he couldn't see the ball when I was pitching to him. And I remember reading that and thinking, man, like I'm doing something right. If this guy, he's one of the great hitters, he can't see it, and he's admitting that to the media. That was pretty cool to hear. I've had guys, first basemen in the league tend to be the most popular guys in the field because they get to talk to the other team a lot. I've had more than a handful of guys come to my first baseman. Somehow they get on first base and they say, man, when O'Day's pitching, I can't see the ball. So that's always good. When I hear that, I know I have the upper hand on that guy. I've hit a few left-handed batters on swings, one of which is a good thing he was wearing a cup on a full swing. So that also was one of my high moments.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Brendan Cuddy from NJ.com. Brendan, go ahead and unmute.
Hey, Darren, thanks for taking the time. You've obviously played for quite some time, but some fans may be unaware just of your backstory. Could you tell us how you developed the sidearm motion, how that came to play for you, and how you discovered it?
Sure. This would be you asked me earlier how I was getting to know young guys. I've told this story 3 times today. But I was in high school. I threw mid-'80s. Wasn't a big recruit. I got some offers for some small schools. Didn't want to go there, so I just went to University of Florida to try and walk on the team. And I wanted to go to school. I was interested in. I was a good student, and I valued education. So I said I'll try to walk on and see how it works out. And my freshman year, I got cut, throwing an overhand. Freshman year, I just went to school and worked out. And then my sophomore summer, a friend of mine was pitching in a Jacksonville Municipal 18 and over league. So anybody 18 and over could try out for these teams. And he asked me to come pitch for his team. So that's when I started goofing around throwing sidearm. It was the first time I'd ever played baseball where there was no results, didn't matter quite as much. And I started throwing sidearm, playing shortstop, did a little cleanup in my off days. And I had so much fun doing it. And my dad, like all baseball dads, loved watching baseball. So he came out to watch me pitch and said, hey, man, you're onto something with that sidearm. You should go try out again. So this is where the story comes full circle. One of the Yankees employees, Pat McMahon, anybody that really knows baseball knows Pat McMahon. He's a wonderful person and baseball coach. He was my coach in college. We had walk-on tryouts again. At the risk of being Rudy, I tried out again and made the team, became a closer, got a scholarship, played there for 4 years, played for Coach McMahon and learned a lot about baseball and about life. And, you know, if he had never had those, I told him this the other day, if he had never had those walk-on tryouts, like a lot of D1 schools don't have them anymore, I would have played college or professional baseball. And, you know, who knows where my life would be. So I'm excited to be here and be, you know, part of this organization where Coach Mack is as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good story. Darren, we're good. Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate the time as always. We'll have you back here again soon.
All right, guys. Thank you.